Munich. Early July. David Duchovny is in town to receive the CineMerit Award at the film festival. His new film, See You When I See You, is scheduled to close the festival. In the film, he plays a supporting role as the father who lost his daughter, though the film is mainly focused on a young man, the son in the family, dealing with the suicide of his sister. This also reflects the position of David Duchovny in cinema history. He has never built his career primarily on film, but has become inseparable from television. The American actor is best known for his role as Fox Mulder in The X-Files, one of the longest-running shows in television history, spanning 11 seasons over more than 2 decades. The role of the skeptical FBI agent brought him Golden Globe and other awards. Later, he continued his television success through his role as Hank Moody in the series Californication. Roles that relied not on radical transformation, but on a very particular presence like intelligence, irony, emotional distance, and a quiet sense of humor. Unlike Leonardo DiCaprio, who actively challenged his established image of a romantic lover boy early in his career, repeatedly looking for collaborations with directors who pushed him into new territory. Duchovny followed another path. After becoming one of television's most recognizable faces, he largely remained within this world. Outside acting, he had a variety of other interests. A Yale graduate, he explored writing, music, and directing, suggesting that acting was one part of a broader intellectual and artistic life, rather than the only destination. In Munich, this creative achievement was warmly received by the public. For festival audiences, he remains an actor whose bond with the viewers endures primarily thanks to the distinctive charisma he brought to the television screen.
I don't get to stand behind the podium. If you want to, you could. This is my first time in Munich, and if I'd known you were giving these out, I would have come a lot sooner. I started acting fairly late. I started when I was like 27, 28, and I always feel like a beginner. Always feel like a beginner, and that's terrifying and horrible on the nervous system, but it's also, what a gift to be able to go through your entire life and still feel jitters on the first day of school or whatever, you know. I'm alive. So that's what you know, and to have worked as a craftsman for this many years now, I finally kind of know what it is that I'm going to try to do. I know my technique, so to speak, so that's fun once you get your toolbox and like now I have my toolbox. Before I just had the seat in my pants, you know. Which is another great thing. My father identified himself as a novelist, even though he never wrote a novel. Until he was 73. He published his first novel when he was 73. And it's a beautiful story. I mean, you got to hand it to him. Like, in the end, he wasn't full of shit, right? He came through. So for me, and my mother was a school teacher. So for me, the written word was always, it was like a pass. Is that clapping for school teachers? Yeah. Absolutely. The written word was not only fascinated my father, but from my mother, who was from a small fishing village in the north of Scotland. And education was the only way out of that particular predicament. So words were everything to both my parents, even though they were destined to be nothing to one another. So I think for me, I was always just very interested in words and in writing. And I identified myself as a writer early on. So for me to come back to it after many years as an actor was really coming home for me.
I signed to work with you.
Oh, isn't it nice to be suddenly so highly regarded? So who did you take off to get stuck with this detail, Scully?
If you have any doubt about my qualifications or credentials...
You're a medical doctor. You teach at the academy. You did your undergraduate degree in physics. It's just that in most of my work, the laws of physics rarely seem to apply.
All started to become, X-Files started to become a global phenomenon. How do you feel about that time?
It's something that happened to me, so it doesn't feel foreign. You know, it's just part of something I went through. At the time, again, it just felt like, of course, this is happening. I don't know. I just felt like we're going to work, we're doing good work, we're trying to do good work. That's all I kept thinking. And then we worked really hard on that show. We worked 10 months out of the year for 8, 9 years, right? So didn't really have time to step out of it and experience these so-called 90s that you speak of. When I first started to direct, here's what I learned. I used to, as an actor, I used to occasionally be a little tardy on set. Because I think I know better about scheduling. Not anymore, don't worry. So as soon as I started to direct, I was like, I will never be late on this. Everybody's talking a lot about AI right now, and artists are feeling pressured, and craftsmen are feeling pressured. And that's legitimate, but the things that make us human I don't think an AI is ever going to replicate. I don't think an AI can fail. I don't think an AI can be heartbroken. I don't think an AI can experience loss. And therefore, these are the things that draw us together. It's the pain and the loss that makes us one, not success, not high flying. That's happens once or twice in your life if you're lucky. But most of life is, and I don't mean to be dark, loss is rich, failure is rich. It's a richness of life. So that's often I think what I'm getting at. I mean, it may sound like a downer, and maybe my stuff is a bit of a downer, but that's where I'm coming from. It's like, yeah, that makes us all. It was really a response to like the Trumpisms of like, we're going to win. Like, that's why I started that podcast. Like, oh, we're going to get tired of winning. It's like, America's a winning country. It's like, what the fuck is this winning business? I don't know, let's lose. Let's lose and like hug one another and say we're all losers. Like, can we love now? The boss called me and told me about this film, and it's just it's a beautiful, we talked about it as one of the funnier films about suicide that you'll ever see. And I know it's a very odd thing to say because mental illness is real. But this was a true story written by Adam Clayton. What's his last name? Is it Holland? I think it's Holland. And he's a stand-up comic. And his sister committed suicide, and this was based on his memoir. Clayton, I got it right. So if you can imagine, that's what this is. It's written by a stand-up comic, and it's full of anger and humor. And I always remember like watching or being exposed to family therapy, and the therapist had this diorama up on the wall. And it was, a father and mother, a couple kids, a dog and a cat, and they're all hanging. And if you, the therapist said, if you touch one, everything moves, You can't touch one person in the family without moving everybody else. So that's kind of what this movie is. It's got a large cast. Hope Davis plays my wife. Hope Davis has played my wife twice now, so. She's just such a wonderful actress. Cooper Rafe is in it. Caitlin Deaver. What? Yes. I said two names, and you said yes. Caitlin, yeah. It's a great cast, and Jay's such a feeling director, such a sensitive man. So I think the only thing I would say to kind of tee it up is, again, I would just give you permission to laugh. It's not glorious comedy, but you have permission to laugh at this. And thank you both for this weapon.